Hello, I'm Judy Heiman with the Legislative Analyst Office. In today's webcast, I'll be discussing our new report on coordinating higher education in California. In November, we launched a series examining key issues facing higher education in California in conjunction with the 50th anniversary of the Master Plan. This report examines the second issue in our series, coordination. Let me begin by defining coordination. First, coordination is about state goals. Its purpose is to guide higher education institutions toward collectively meeting the needs of the state. Second, it should encompass the entire post-secondary system, including public and private institutions, colleges and universities, community colleges, and career schools. And third, coordination is more than coordinating boards and commissions. It can include funding formulas and policies, delineated missions, and executive, legislative, or regulatory actions. Coordination is important for several reasons. The subtitle of our report is Greater than the Sum of Its Parts. If the activities of the various segments are complementary, then their combined efforts can indeed add up to more than they could achieve independently. In contrast, if there's significant overlap, duplication, or lack of alignment, then their combined efforts will be less valuable and more expensive to the state. Another reason coordination is important is that the actions of one segment affect the other segments. Our report provides several examples of this. Another reason coordination is necessary is that institutional interests can compete with public interests. Mechanisms are needed to steer institutions away from particular actions that diverge from the public interest. California has struggled with how to balance coordination and autonomy for higher education institutions. Too much state control can tie the hands of higher ed leaders and hamper their ability to respond to changing circumstances. But too little state influence can result in inefficiency and lack of alignment with state interests. We believe that there is currently too little effective state influence in the higher education system. The coordinating mechanisms set up in the 1960 Master Plan, such as clear differentiation of functions and enrollment pools, worked well to guide growth in the 1960s and 70s. Since that time, however, they've become less effective. Over the past 3 decades, mission differentiation has eroded, enrollment pools have become less well-defined, articulation and transfer have been persistent problems, and there's been inadequate statewide planning. We believe there are several factors underlying the state's inability to solve the coordination puzzle for all these years. First, California lacks statewide goals for higher education. The Master Plan established several principles and broad goals, but no specific goals that can form the basis of a real statewide plan or public agenda for higher education. Also, California's coordinating mechanisms are inadequate. These include mission differentiation, funding mechanisms, program oversight, coordinating board authority, and information systems. Another factor hampering coordination is that California lacks effective statewide policy leadership. The segments have disproportionate influence in policy decisions. The California Post-Secondary Education Commission has had limited influence, and lack of continuity has hindered legislative leadership. In our report, we provide several examples of effective coordination in other states, from which California can draw some lessons. We go on to recommend changes in 3 areas to improve higher education coordination in California. We recommend the legislature work with the administration and others to adopt a clear public agenda for higher education. It should have specific statewide goals that can serve as a framework for an accountability system designed to align higher ed performance with the state's needs. We offer sample goals as a starting point, building on master plan principles, but we caution that developing a state public agenda should involve formal deliberations by policymakers and broad stakeholder participation. We also recommend strengthening coordination mechanisms by aligning funding formulas with state goals, improving oversight for state policy decisions, and considering regional coordination models, among other things. Finally, we recommend rebuilding the state's capacity for policy leadership in several ways, including maintaining the coordinating board's independence from the executive and legislative branches and increasing its independence from the segments, revising the appointment process for the coordinating board, assigning clear responsibility for shepherding the public agenda, and creating a more comprehensive statewide student data system with enhanced research and analysis capabilities. We believe that by adopting these strategies, policymakers will improve their ability to align the system's performance with the state's needs. That concludes this webcast. You can find the full report on our website, where you can also watch for additional reports in our master plan series in the coming months. Thank you.